All right, guys, we're back for our final segment. And if you are tuning in right now and you haven't tuned into my first segment on this debate analysis special edition, President Donald Trump versus Joe Biden, concluded about an hour ago. And please take a listen to my first about 12 minutes of the analysis of the debate. This last segment will be a little bit different. But I did say basically there were two options that were going to happen tonight with Joe Biden. Either he was going to be surprisingly formidable because of some stimulants he was on, or it would be an utter catastrophe. No in-betweens. And it was the latter, utter catastrophe. So if you haven't listened, I encourage you to take a listen on Podbean or iHeartRadio. And pretty simple to do. You can download Podbean, not that hard. And I encourage you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I appreciate you guys tuning in. So basically this segment, what I want to talk about is why in the world did these people, the Democrat Party, the deep state basically, the administrative state, the intelligence organizations, the people who are pulling the strings, because like I said, Joe Biden has zero autonomy. He's completely controlled. He's a Manchurian candidate. He's a hollow vessel. No type of individuality with him, okay? So why would they put him on the debate stage right now? And by the way, if you guys are kind of asking yourselves, why am I speaking a little bit more reserved and quietly? My wife's asleep right now, but I'm plugged in, man. It's like 12 o'clock in the morning, but this is just, I'm excited. I don't know. President Trump just dominated. He dominated. It was a complete evisceration. Anyway, so why would they do that? Well, there's some ideas. Would not be surprised at all because if you look at the polling, even the polling that is not very objective to conservative-leaning organizations. I think Rasmussen is really the only kind of right-leaning poll, and that had Trump up by 10 points recently in the national poll. All swing state polls have President Trump up. Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Arizona, Georgia, Nevada. Every single swing state poll has President Trump up. Some very convincingly, so not surprisingly. And those probably aren't even accurate to the actual support he has in those states. So why would they do that? Well, wouldn't be surprised at all if they tried to insert another candidate. Gavin Newsom, Michelle Obama, some of the names I'm hearing, wouldn't be surprised at all, okay? But I don't know if that's actually going to happen. And here's the thing. I think that, well, first of all, I just want to say that God's in control of all of this. He's in control of leaders. It says in the Bible that blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. And if you heard Joe Biden tonight talk about the abortion issue, talk about certain things that were just so inexplicable. And again, these aren't Joe Biden's crazy, irrational opinions. He's simply parroting, and a very poor job of parroting, I might add, what he's told. This is the Democrat, the uniparty, because they're high-ranking people in the Republican Party who would side with a lot of the foreign policy talked about tonight. But you heard some of the issues, and I broke that down in the first segment. Do not reflect the majority of this nation. The majority of this nation does not support some of the radical, insane ideas that were fomented by Joe Biden. So again, I don't know if they'll actually be able to replace him. I think that may be the goal. You may see some people who really try to push for that, and that very may well happen. Because again, my thinking tonight, there is absolutely no rational explanation. You put up a man like that in the current state he's in. And guys, this is sad to say, but if you didn't watch the debate, the cognitive state this man is in, it was sobering. I was telling Morgan, my wife, I have never seen something like this before. I mean, the inability to cognitively express thoughts, the pauses, the brain freeze, the looking flummoxed like he was in outer space. But again, these people who control much, if not all of what he does, did this very intentionally. And I think the public outcry from guys, if you would have seen some of the Democrats after this debate, I was curious to see what they would say, and I was looking on X, and it's funny, all of the conservatives were clearly calling, even people who were like, I'm not even a Trump supporter, but my goodness, he's just absolutely eviscerating Joe Biden. But you saw the people who clearly we're left-leaning. We're like, oh, I can't believe these are both of our options. So obviously they weren't going to say anything favorably about Trump. But there was no one could say anything positively about Biden. So again, I think it's very intentional, very concocted, very strategic on their end by putting him on the debate stage, because there's no explanation. You would not put this type of person in this type of situation against and you can say what you want to about President Trump. He's a very formidable opponent when it comes to debating. He is not people time and time again off their game. He did this in the Republican nomination back in 2016. Very formidable opponent. So again, not surprising. And let me just say this too. And I will say this very unequivocally. CNN is bought and paid for. They are controlled. But the fact that Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, who were the moderators tonight, didn't go after Trump more, this was the most, and I'm going to call it like it is, they did maybe the best job of asking questions. Now, again, it was still favorite. I mean, they still were asking some, like the climate change hoax question. Like, clearly that thing was just so, I mean, I don't want to get into that. I could talk a lot about that. But they asked some questions that were just like clearly left-leaning questions. Because, again, they couldn't deviate completely from their roots. But as far as like them not doing what they've always done and trying to undermine and attack Trump, just further proves, again, these things are, guys, it's not conspiratorial. Whether it's CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, these people are hand and foot connected to the Democrat Party, to the Uniparty. They talk about the stuff they're gonna discuss in the debates. It just is. It is what it is. That this is the way they do things. So the fact they didn't go after Trump more makes me think that there was collusion between them and the Democrat, the DNC, and others who were trying to, again, get Biden out of the race and install another Manchurian candidate they can manipulate more effectively, who has just more of a presence and just has some sort of ability to communicate clearly and doesn't appear like, again, they should be in a geriatric facility. And that's honestly what it seemed like, guys. And this was just a further proof of it tonight. So, yeah, guys, that's all I got for tonight. I encourage you, again, tune into the first 12 minutes. I go a little more in depth with the policy conversations and discussions. And I don't know. I think people are waking up. I know that any objective, reasonable person tonight, if they were to watch the debate, not just the clear, incoherent babble from Joe Biden, but to look at the substantive issues, and you juxtapose what Trump was saying in an even keel, just poised temperament, the choices couldn't be more stark. And I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful because I can't wait. I say this with unequivocal conviction. I can't wait for President Trump to get back in the White House. All right, guys. Hope you all have a phenomenal Friday. And if you're in the car, flip this on, man, for a few minutes. And if you don't like it, turn it off. It's free country, right? All right. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.